I feel so lazy today.
And we're recording?
Yep. Oh, hey, everybody.
Yep.
I am not a lazy human.
Hey.
Why are you lazy, Paul? Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. We have to start this on a different... Paul has started the podcast both times, the first two episodes, with like a non sequitur, like he's just been like mid-rolling, you know? I don't know what to call it. He'll say something weird, and then that's how we start it. That's how the first two have started.
All right, well, I almost fell into the dump this week. We'll start with that. I almost fell into the dump, like the landfill.
Oh.
Do tell.
All right, so we're selling our house, and so I've done a whole bunch of, like, renovation projects and stuff, and so I've got a whole bunch of, like, scrap wood and, like, old gutters and just junk, and then we also cleaned out the garage since we're moving. Like, we don't want to take up, like, the stuff that we're not using. We don't want to take it with us. So there's boxes that, like, Caitlin and I haven't touched in 4 or 5 years. So we, like, combed through them real quick. And we're like, nah, toss those. So I literally loaded up 2, like, U-Hauls full and just took them straight to the dump. And they have you back your car up to this ledge that's over these giant dumpsters.
Dang.
And you literally just throw stuff in. Did you guys lose video for a second?
Yeah, was I the only one that saw that? It was like you disappeared and then immediately came back in.
I just wasn't going to say anything.
That was weird. But anyway, yeah, so like so yeah, literally, like, I was pulling stuff out of the truck and everything because it was just me, and like, literally tripped and fell and, like, just barely caught myself. Otherwise I would have landed in a dumpster.
Dang, dude.
Dang.
That's brutal.
That's
the most brutal thing about that was somebody threw away a bunch of cassette tapes.
Oh
no.
Horrible.
No.
I thought about going after him. I really thought about going after him. Because there was, like,
I bet you did.
Literally just, like, milk cartons, like the plastic milk crates, full of just cassette tapes.
Wow.
And there had to be some good ones in there because I saw what's it called? Is it the 1984 by Van Halen, the one with the little cherub on it?
Oh wow.
Yeah, someone threw that away. I've already got that one, but someone threw that away. So I was like, "There's got to be more gold down there."
There's got to be.
There's gold in them hills.
Is there?
I'm really over the whole modern bands re-releasing stuff on cassette. It really angers me. I'm just gonna, like, I get there's a cool factor of, like, oh look, a cassette, it looks cool, but in my opinion, the sound quality is horrible, and I just think it's annoying.
Yeah, cassettes.
But that's just me.
Don't sound amazing.
No, they're.
If they were, if they published to cassette, and that was because that was what was being played, totally fine.
Agreed.
Although, here's where I'll make the exception, not to contradict you, but to contradict you a little bit. Okay. I'm fine with it if the band is fully aware that it's, like, kind of a useless collector item. You know, it's not that they're trying to be hipster or cool. They're just like, this is kind of a fun. It's got the logo on it. It's the new album on cassette. It didn't cost much. Here it is. Instead of the people that are like, oh man, cassette, the best sounding medium out there.
I'm gonna go buy a next 90 something so I can actually play this in my car.
We really need to just make a switch over to Laserdiscs again.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what's stopping us.
Sony Laserdiscs.
We're already back to vinyl, so let's just take it a step further. Laserdisc.
Vinyls. I mean, yeah, I dig the vinyls, but yeah, I'm cool with whatever, guys. Whatever we want to do, I'm down. I'll say my piece, but I'll roll with it. You know, it's for the people, so we're gonna be okay. Anyway,
all right.
Speaking of the okay, banner.
Oh, nice, Paul. I was gonna say something about that. So I'm obsessed with one of a kind merch. Like, there are a few merch items right now that are out there in the world that are just, there's only one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this the right way. Mine and Nick's stepdad, he has an OK shirt that says Bandad.
That's pretty sweet.
And it's the only one in existence. Taylor helped me make it with her Cricut machine. That was very cool.
Dude, Cricuts are so cool.
Yeah. And so that banner is the only one that exists. And so that's kind of cool to me.
This is true. I don't even remember what dimensions they are. I just was like, sure, this, and boom. In like 50 years, we'll sign it and we'll sell it for tons of money.
50 years. The original. We never make another OK banner.
I love it.
What are you guys drinking tonight? What's on the... what's in the
I got tangerine LaCroix.
I've got milk. No, I'm just kidding. It's in a
That's very brown looking milk.
Starbucks brand Nespresso.
Oh, okay.
With some heavy cream, because I'm a gentleman.
Heavy cream, nice, very keto. This is Crystal Light raspberry tea. It's delicious.
I can't even tell you,
Light.
Paul, how many
gallons.
Although we made it by the quart, so maybe like how many quarts of...
How many quarts?
Quarts. How many quarts of Crystal Light we consumed as children?
Wait, really?
Yeah, we didn't drink Kool-Aid because that is not healthy, and so...
They were like 6 packs. These little plastic pods inside of another plastic tube.
Yeah, dude, that's what I get all the time.
Yeah, that was Mom's favorite thing growing up,
bro.
Because she couldn't do a lot of sugar, so like you could get tons of different flavors and stuff.
Yeah,
some people call it Crystal Light.
Oh, Crystal
Light.
So there was, oh my gosh, what was it? There was an episode of Cribs way back in the day. No. And I forget who it was, but he was talking about how all the rappers have Crystal Light or have Cristal. And he was like, I found this new thing. It's a lot cheaper. It's called Crystal Light.
I do remember this.
Oh man, who was that? I don't remember who it was.
Let's get rid of the chat window.
Wow. That's great. Yeah, I love Crystal Light. I started drinking it consistently last year, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And it's decent, for you because it's, not sugary, and I like it. The raspberry ice is my jam, though. That's my favorite.
That's how I got burned out on, the fruit punch. Now I've had so much fruit punch Crystal Light that it's like I just don't like fruit punch anything else.
Yeah, I feel that.
Burned out on it.
That happens. Burnout's
I'm that way with lemon lime Gatorade.
Oh, the lemon lime G2, or is it just lime?
I just can't. I can't stomach it because when we worked at camp, we bought like the 5-pound tub of lemon lime Gatorade mix, and so you'd throw a spoon of that in your Nalgene and head out for the day.
That's right.
Oh man, the 1 year that I played football, someone thought it would be like a nice treat to give us Gatorade instead of water at one of the practices, but they just mixed it wrong. So it was like this sludgy, sandy, super sweet Gatorade, and it was just like the basic lemon lime.
That's horrible.
And
wasn't even like Gatorade. It's like you're supposed to spread it on toast.
Keep in mind, this was like many, many years ago. It still lingers in my mind.
That's
pretty rough.
Wow. That's like,
oh man, that had to have been like 12, 13 years ago, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it was many years, like 6th grade. 6th grade, it was the summer between 5th and 6th grade. Dang. So the fact that that's even still hanging around up there. But then they tried to wash out the water jugs, and they never quite got the taste of the Gatorade out of them.
That's so great. Oh, man.
Wait, so Paul, let's just talk about things we consume. We talked about it before we started rolling. What are you munching on? What's your snack of choice tonight?
Well, I finished it, but this plate used to have a piece of Hershey Sundae pie, which, yes, you can get it at Burger King, or you could go to the store and just buy a whole thing, which is what I do. It's by Edwards, Hershey Sundae pie. Wonderful. We had some yesterday for Father's Day, and it was amazing. We also had prime rib, which was just mind-blowing.
That Hershey pie hits different when it's with a Whopper.
You might have talked about prime rib on the first episode.
I did, because we had prime rib. Dude, okay, 2020, what a year, right? Well, food-wise, this may be the best year I've ever had. Okay, we have prime rib for Easter, prime rib for Mother's Day, prime rib for Father's Day. I had Texas Roadhouse on my birthday. We're living it up.
Oh, I recently discovered the magic of the roadkill at Texas Roadhouse. Somehow I've gone my whole life without eating it, It's just like a delicious
So
chop
it's like the
steak.
mushrooms and onions and stuff on top.
It's like
they
call it chop steak, which is I guess technically a burger. I don't know.
I mean,
But it's very keto. Although recently found out I've been eating a few too many onions because apparently onions are not keto. Anyway, it's not important.
Yeah, it's okay. We won't tell the keto police.
So when these I have to write a blog. Once this podcast comes out, you will have already read my blog and probably Nick's blog, and so it'll be a little bit further away from Father's Day. But we're recording this the day after Father's Day. Do you guys do anything fun?
Prime rib, baby. It was so good.
Prime rib.
I mean, we just hung out. Yeah, we went to my brother's, had some meal time. Just chilled. It was good.
So we went,
but it was nice.
We did kind of the same thing. We went to my father-in-law's house because for those of you who don't have the whole backstory, mine and Zach's biological dad's not in the picture.
Oh, damn.
We have a great stepdad named David.
Awesome.
He's phenomenal, awesome dude. But that being said, like our in-laws kind of take some precedence on the Father's Day circuit. But we just did that. But basically the same thing, dinner at in-laws' house. Mm-hmm. And then we went over. Zach and I think, did things separately, but like I went over and visited David for a while because with these home renovations, David's been like my lifesaver for that because I don't know what I'm doing, but he does. So
awesome.
Yeah, we had lunch with the father-in-law, which I feel like we usually spend more time with them. So I feel like we spent less than we should have. But then our mom and David came over, so that was awesome.
And man, like just saying, like I know
to the Zeller family.
I'm sure Zach, you're having the same situations with David, but man, he is just like he could talk about literally anything.
Yeah,
and it's always just like super engaged conversation. It's just cool.
We played. Gosh, everyone was so done with this game, but I thought it was funny that we were all still powering through. We were playing Unstable Unicorns. Have you guys played that one?
No.
It's kind of the same vein as Exploding Kittens.
Oh boy.
Or
no.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're playing this unicorn game, and David. Everyone is having a good time, but David is like, I think, making it more difficult just to kind of make a joke out of it. So he got stuck with this random card that was making him do like 85 things every turn. But we kept having to, he wasn't bothering to like figure out what he was supposed to do. So he was like, all right, so what am I supposed to do now? Anyway, had to be there.
Now he's such a laid back, chill dude.
That's good.
All right, well, what have you guys been up to other than that? What's going on? Let's think about this. It's been a month.
1 week since you looked at me. Sorry, couldn't.
It's been.
Are we really busting out the lyrics to 1 week right now?
I'm sorry, I'm a child.
I would actually really like that song, but when I worked at Shoe Carnival, it came on every day.
I believe
part
that.
Of the mix.
100%.
You guys, have you heard Weird Al's cover where he talks about? Oh, there it goes, losing my video again. He does the parody of that song, but it's talking about what was on Jerry Springer.
I actually don't know if I know that one.
I feel like that song is a parody of itself.
Is it Poodle Hat? It's one of his older ones.
Poodle Hat, man, I haven't listened to that in so long. We should tour with Weird Al. Weird Al, if you're watching this.
Man, he did.
I don't know that he does stuff like
last
that.
Last year or the year before,
cool,
he went on a tour and all he played was the serious, like acoustic stuff.
Wow.
Oh wow, weird.
He didn't. It was pretty cool.
My favorite Weird Al song. This is a tough call, but it has to be the Captain Underpants theme song. From the new movie. Have you guys heard it?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's ridiculously good.
I still really like My Bologna.
Ooh. I used to know most of the lyrics to some random one, but I don't know the source material, and I don't care to sing the song right now, so I'll have to look it up and fill everyone in later.
Suspense!
Okay, what I was going to say, though, is that it's been about a month since our last podcast. What has happened between then and now?
I recorded a lot of drum parts.
I thought you were done
I
with
did
it.
not
Well, yeah, I guess
record
you
drum
did
parts.
that. Yep. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
End of story. Some drum parts, not drum parts. Done.
Yeah, so I mean that's been fun. I mean, recording our stuff, but also just recording a lot of other stuff has been really fun. I've been really trying to tap into that and push myself as a writer and all that. So I mean, that's been great. I've been trying to get in the studio at least like every other day or something. So,
Man,
feeds the soul. It's nice. Hashtag
awesome.
goals.
I keep making excuses, and I would like to do more of that. Just being in the studio, we have to upgrade. I'm not going to upgrade anything. What if I just X out of it?
Well, also,
It's going to
everyone,
end
what
in
did
10 minutes.
happen?
We'll just start it over. Sorry.
We didn't get that Zoom sponsorship.
Yeah, sorry. Zoom decided not to sponsor
Still working
us.
on it. We'll have to write them a song.
What was I going to say? Okay, so I started vacation this week.
Yeah.
Which is, I just want to say this publicly. I'm very blessed to work at a place where they not only were able to continue working at full staff during the whole COVID thing, but there's a committee for personnel, and they recognized that it's a lot more stressful trying to deal with these situations. So they gave everyone an additional week of vacation. So I think it's more of just mental health time, honestly. So just time to be away from everyone else, so you don't rip someone's head off. But so I started that today. Today's my first day, and I started that with redoing the landscaping in front of my house.
Good for you, man. Look at you being productive.
Thanks.
And manly.
But what I was going to say is, ideally, I was thinking about that when I was kind of finishing up the project, which took me an entire honest 8 hours of labor. And I'm like, dang, that's what it's like to work like an actual day's work. I'm not about it. I don't know. I'm not cut out of that same. I'm not cut out of that rugged cloth.
He said, I'm not about it.
I'm not.
I respect your honesty.
I'd rather sit at a desk or, record something. But my goal for the rest of vacation. Do you guys hear that?
I did. It's okay though.
A little bit
loud. Still hear movement, so everything's fine. My goal for the rest of vacation is to do music stuff. Actually, I want to read some books, but also music stuff.
I dig.
Maybe go play disc golf.
Oh, right. We're supposed to do that tomorrow. We're 6 days in the past from when people are hearing this.
Let me jump through that time loop, and I'll be there.
Oh, man. Have you guys seen Source Code? Have I talked about Source Code already?
Not on the podcast,
I still
but
watched
yes,
it. I need to.
It's my favorite movie of all time. And it's the beginning of me thinking about Nick keeps disappearing. He you pop in and out.
It's because of the way I'm holding my phone.
It's all good.
He found the opening.
It got me thinking about time loops and alternate realities and stuff like that. I'm not like a big conspiracy theorist or even any kind of theorist, but anyway, all that to say, disc golf tomorrow or last week.
Disc golf tomorrow or last week.
What about
tomorrow? I was gonna go mow this past weekend. So talking about manly things and landscaping and stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna go mow, and the riding lawnmower has a flat tire.
Oh.
But not only does it have a flat tire, it's been sitting on that flat tire for a few weeks.
Oh, so is it one with a tube?
Yeah.
Is the tube okay?
No, it's not. It's a front. I don't know. I had to replace the same one last year on the other side. No, the other one gave out.
Dang.
They're like $40 at Lowe's. So
Lowe's trip.
I made a Lowe's trip today. I masked up, but at that point I'd already been sweating and getting sunburned for 5 hours.
Oof.
So I was just like sweating profusely the whole time. But I think this guy, I got a bunch of mulch, right? Because we completely redid the front stuff. There used to be rock. We shoveled all the rock out and then put some mulch in. But I got 15 bags of mulch, And they said, pull around and someone will load it up for you. And so I pull around and there's just this one guy on a forklift. And he's like, what are you doing? I mean, he pretty much he was probably said, how can I help you or something? But his tone was very much, what are you doing? I was like, I've never done this before. But the lady inside said that if I pulled around, someone could help me load up this mulch. And he goes, yeah, it's over here. So he's like, follow me. And so he takes off on the forklift. I follow him in the CRV. And I just park right behind him. And then he goes, could you maybe pull up close to it? And I'm like, yes, of course. But I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. So I quickly realized the mulch is actually like stockpiled up in the parking lot. So I just had to pull up beside it. And then this nice man just helped me out, helped me load it up, which they're not technically, I guess, supposed to do. But it was 15 bags.
That's a lot of mulch, dude.
And I'm estimating, but it feels like 15 bags of mulch weighs roughly the same as like standard gear for a show.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
Oh man. So funny meme that I saw recently. It was explaining to people that have never gone on tour as like not a super famous musician, like with tour buses and jets and stuff, like dudes in a van going on tour kind of thing. They said, find a closet in your house. Put the pillow that you sleep on in that closet. Sit in that closet for 2 hours. Sit in that closet for 2 to 6 hours. Get out. Carry your fridge up and down your basement steps 3 times. Get back in the closet. Sit for another 2 to 6 hours. Repeat for an entire week. That's tour.
That's the part that people don't think about, and something I absolutely despise yet love about playing even like local shows. You have to load out and load back in.
Yeah.
It's the worst because you have wherever you have your gear. We have a practice space here in Kentucky, but got you guys that one. Oh, man.
Thank you for that.
Well, you sound like Goofy when you do that.
Duke. We have a practice space, so we luckily are on the same level. But when we first started Ocean City, we had to load out of a basement up these nasty concrete basement steps that always had dead leaves in them, even if we like meticulously scrubbed them. It was insane.
Those tuning in to whoa. Did I just disappear?
You did.
Yeah, just very briefly.
Sorry, I just got a phone call. To those tuning in to the OK's podcast that don't know, Zach and I used to be in a band called Ocean City.
Right.
I don't think we've ever name dropped that before.
I thought we talked about it at length in the first episode.
That was like
yeah.
That was either like next Tuesday or 6 weeks ago, Zach.
Right.
Time loop.
Anyway, so we would load up these.
That was actually 2 months in the future.
Wow. We don't know for sure.
1.21 gigawatts.
1.21 gigawatts. I can't do it. I feel like you have to do that. You know, the thing I've never perfected is that like ability to scream quietly, not like in a metal way, just.
Oh, I was like, bro, let's go.
Well, anyway, long story short, it's refreshing when you haven't done it in a while to be like, oh, it feels good. My muscles, kind of kicking into gear here, having to lift up keyboards and guitars and amps and stuff. But then when you're done with the show, the last thing you want to do is reload the van or the CRV or the Jeep Compass or whatever.
Chevy Express.
Yes. And then you have to go back to wherever you came from. And then the best practice is to go ahead and just load it back into wherever you unloaded it from in the first place. Yep. And that's the last thing you want to do at 3 a.m. or as it was the case of Youngstown when we met, the fateful night, like 6:30 in the morning. Oh man.
That was a crazy time because Zach and I both have jobs that require us to be there early.
Yeah.
And we were playing
Saturday too, wasn't it?
What's that?
Yeah,
It was a Saturday. We did 2 of those in the tour. The last tour with Ocean City, we did 2 Saturday late night gigs and then drove back overnight. And I almost killed us all.
We're in. Oh man. So
it's so bad
Zach and I are located in like central Kentucky, and we played one show in Youngstown, Ohio, which is about a 6-hour drive from where we're at, 6.5 hours. And then Chicago, which is a 5-hour drive, which doesn't seem like that bad. But like if you're going to load, like again, you carry your refrigerator up and down your steps 3 times and then sit in a closet. Like we were driving back and we rented a different van to go on this trip so that everybody could ride in the same vehicle. And
can't even. It's not funny.
But I don't even know how it happened. But like, because all of us were tired and Zach was driving.
Nick did the first 3 hours, and I did the last 3, and so we're like 40 minutes away from home. Okay, we are recording again.
Yeah, the van.
Thanks for that. As we said, yes. So Zoom did not give us the same grace as the first couple times. We had to restart on a brand new call, but we're back, and we're talking about. So I almost killed everyone in Ocean City. We actually had Stuart filling in on bass that night, so that was pretty cool. So
Stuart,
Ocean City minus Brady plus Stuart, and so I'm driving, and we're pretty close to home, and I'm trying to stay awake, and I thought I was doing a pretty good job. Like there's a certain point where you hit it, and you're like, I'm not going to fall asleep, and then literally just fell asleep and started accelerating at the same time.
Oh,
so like I was asleep and accelerating. Everyone was like, Zach, and I woke up like, just not. I don't feel like it was like all that drastic, but I feel like I was still going the same speed. Just kind of went over to the other lane. I was like, yeah, what's up, guys?
I meant to do that.
It's really bad. It was bad. I was like, oh gosh, but that scares you straight, like I didn't fall asleep anymore.
Yeah. That Youngstown show, I remember I was like super awake the first like 2.5 hours. Like I was like, man, that was a great show. Nick and Zach are cool, blah, 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 blah. And then I don't remember the last like hour at all, 0%. I vaguely remember waking up and just being like, whoa. And then that was it. And then somehow I made it home, and it was like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not unloading. I'm going to go to sleep. And I slept till like afternoon.
That must have been great because I literally remember like walking, like Zach and I got back to the practice space, dropped the gear off real quick. I drove home and took a shower and went to work.
So horrible.
Here's my thought. So for this band right now, our origin is within the COVID pandemic. So no one's really traveling unless you're doing like a drive-in movie tour. There's a lot of comedians doing. Well, not a lot, but a few comedians.
Or a couple of there's a band that we met on tour. They did a drive-in concert. That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. But here's what I'm getting at. Let's try to do this for all of our future shows. Let's try to schedule them in a way that makes sense, where we go there, play the show, and then we sleep, and then we come home.
I love it.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm so about this. I am in love with the idea. Here's what I don't like. I don't like spending time away from our families, but I would rather be statistically
wrote a song about that.
Less likely to die and see my family the next day.
I agree. Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Or to be honest, let's not plan a weekend tour. Let's if we're going to play multiple shows, let's just hit them back to back and then come home.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense as well. Yeah.
We got out.
There's so much going on that we don't even know what touring's going to look like or what the OK is going to look like. It's wide open. So let's talk about the cool stuff. We have finished recording the thing that we're recording.
The drum parts.
The drum parts are done.
That's it.
Just the drum anthem.
A lot of boom booms.
It's actually like a 6-hour drum circle album.
I didn't use sticks either. All with my hands.
Is that? No, that's not feasible.
I actually didn't use my hands at all. I held the sticks with my feet.
Hey man, I know a drummer that does that, and he's freaking awesome.
There are a couple foot musicians out there, I think.
Yeah, foot musicians.
So yes, I don't even want to say what we have coming out because I want to hit them with something and then maybe hit them with something else.
Yeah.
But it's coming out. The thing that it is, it's being mixed and mastered probably as we speak.
True.
Anyway, that's all I got. I guess that
so
wasn't as crazy. There's not. What's that?
There's so much I want to say, but I won't. We got to keep the people guessing.
I will
know.
note that I did not have to change guitar strings the entire time.
Wow. I'm
Yeah, well, that's
impressed.
impressive because we recorded 27 songs back to back.
And then the 28th one, that's my 6-hour drum solo.
Yeah. No, so I tell you, I have this. I don't know. I said I tell you.
I tell
I
you.
have this.
Hey, you up, boy?
I have this idea of how to make a little extra cash, and I don't know that it's selling out per se. I thought if I made like a ton of just piano only music and just put it out on like Pandora and YouTube and stuff, that eventually just the snowball effect of having all of this piano music out there and people that just put it on in the background or whatever, that it could make just a little extra cash. I don't know. That's not quite what I set out to make music-wise, but I feel like it might not be bad. I'm
not opposed.
I feel like, you remember that CD rack that used to be by the candle section in Walmart?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you're talking about making.
Yeah, but it would be cool because it would be me playing it.
Okay.
And I would design the album artwork.
I mean, you do you.
I support you, Zach.
I've had, honestly, like I'm picking on you, but I've had a similar thought about making like just ambient soundscapes and putting them out there because who knows who wants them.
Well, here's where I'm landing with all of it. One, if it's something that I wanted to do, like I would just do it anyway. So I'm probably going to do it. But music for us is something that we make because we're inspired to do it. So when the inspiration leaves, then that's like there's no point. So I would obviously have to like wait for inspiration to strike and maybe just riff on a chord progression or something. But then why not put those out there?
Yeah.
But also on this note, the only thing keeping us, excuse me, I just almost burped right in the
he got real
for
emotional.
the second time. Yeah. The only thing keeping us from doing this full time, this whole music thing, we could be the OK. We are the OK full time, but legitimately full time, no day jobs, no question about whether or not we can go to tour other than what's on our schedule, is money. That's the only thing that's stopping us. If we had enough money, we could just do it.
It's true.
And that's kind of a weird thing to say. Like, I'm not trying to get people to send us money or anything.
It's not even like an extravagant amount of money. It's just it's expensive to be alive.
Just need baseline salary, really?
Like entry level position. Anybody got any of those open?
I mean, I will say, last I looked, you can get like $40,000 for a kidney. So, I mean, I'm willing. I got 2. Just saying.
So we could make if all 3 of us were down a kidney.
Wow.
We could probably coast for a year-ish.
I could probably make it a year and a half.
I drink way too much coffee for that to happen, man.
Have you guys ever? This is a crazy question.
Do it.
If this is not meant to be like this extravagant high production podcast, but if people are listening to this, I'm gonna be just absolutely thrilled, but also a little surprised. But here's my question: have you guys ever sold plasma?
No, I thought about it though.
No, I have not.
Oh, so I used to sell plasma.
I did take part in a like a medical trial when I was in Murray for it was like a skin lotion thing for tattoos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Put it on your tattoo. It's supposed to help them make them stay vibrant and stuff. They just want to make sure that you didn't break out in rashes. So they gave you $50 if you were to put it on every night before you went to bed for a week. So yeah, broke college kid, $50. Let's do it.
Yeah. Dude. So I would sell plasma when I was in Oklahoma for college to fund my trips back to Kentucky.
Wow.
And I went a few times, and then it just kind of, there's only so much you want to do that stuff. It's not super enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. The first time I saw the Prestige was at the I don't want to say the company, at the plasma place.
Now, if you donate blood, they do an antibody test for COVID for free.
Oh, sweet. But what I was going to say, pertaining to the plasma, you're talking about kidneys, like you drink too much coffee or whatever, they won't want your kidneys. There are some people, plasma is like a light, clearish amber color. It can range more toward like the true clear for some people. But you guys hear Millie? She is going crazy.
Yeah, she's
got a lot to say about plasma.
Crazy. But so the plasma, people that smoke, there's nothing wrong with their plasma, but it's like a different color. It can be kind of a darker amber, even a green color.
Interesting.
And so one time I was asking one of the, I don't know if they're nurses or technicians or what, or they might be doctors, I don't know. But I was like, I don't know, what's up with that plasma over, like, what's going on there? And they were like, oh, they smoke. And I was like, ooh.
Wow.
You know, I was kind of like, man, so I'm looking at mine, I'm like looking at theirs, I'm like, I don't know if ours are compatible. If I ever need plasma, I don't know that that's the kind I'm going to get.
Weird. I wonder what else you can do to make your plasma a different color.
You know what? Sorry.
I'll have to do some research on that one.
On that,
dude, let me know. I'm curious.
And stuff like that.
What were you saying?
It just popped into my head, but like that donation and stuff like that. So like my son is a recipient of an organ transplant. So like we get literature and Facebook groups and stuff like that about it. And I was reading one the other day that popped up. You know, things just pop up on Facebook. Mm-hmm. In Japan, and in actually most of Asia, because tobacco use is so heavily accepted over there, mm-hmm. that you can still donate like in America, if you're a smoker and you are an organ donor, your lungs gone. They don't even consider them. But in Asia, they still consider your lungs if you're a smoker.
Wow.
I don't know how to approach that conversation without sounding very ableist. But I'm just thinking, like, how terrible if you were, like, needing new lungs or needing I don't know how that works. How do you get do they do lung transplants?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, man, I got my new lungs, and you go through your physical therapy, and then you're, like, trying to run or something. I don't know what you can get up to if you have new lungs, but
I don't know. Like I just thought it was...
You're still kind of limited as far as how oxygenated you can get your blood because the person used to smoke like a ton.
And this would be something where like it would be great to have a fact checker.
I'm assuming it would be cool to recover. You could probably recover from that, right?
Yeah, but like this would be cool to like have a fact checker because I don't know how much credibility because I didn't look into the sources of this. I just read it.
Sure.
But there are like varying degrees of damage that can be done to organs before they are unusable for transplant.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would.
But yeah,
I mean, I hope I'm not trying to be pandering here or anything. Not trying to make less of it. But if you're listening to the podcast and you are not an organ donor, be cool if you signed up. And what's the heart organization? The
CODA.
What is it?
That's the one for Kentucky.
Oh, gotcha.
Kentucky Organ Transplant Affiliates. I think that's what it is.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, anyway, just look into that. See how you can support transplant, those needing transplants, and also, you know, if you're not using your organs anymore, might as well let someone else use them. I don't know. Maybe we'll edit that part out.
Or just sell them and send us a check so we can.
Oh my gosh!
Just
this whole time, Paul's like Rolodexing. He's like, all right, so that one.
Yo, that's how we do in Detroit. I don't know what you Southern people do.
Oh gosh, we got to go down a different avenue here. I'm having all these questions, like the ongoing questions. Shout out to Doug Bratcher if he's listening. He probably isn't, even though he's very supportive of the band. One Punch Man. He's very supportive of the band, but I don't know that he has time to like just listen to us ramble about stuff. He's not like a super fan.
He's one of my favorite people.
He is super cool. But his big question he always asks is how much of your body would you be willing to lose? And again, this is a rough question. So again, this is not meant to be offensive to anybody, but how much, if you had to, right? If it was going to happen anyway, how much would you be willing to part with if you got compensated? I forget what the compensation. It's like $20,000. I can't even think about losing a finger. I would never lose a finger. It weirds me out to lose a toe. But here's the thing: if it happened to me, I would just deal with that emotional trauma and move on. But I couldn't picture making that bargain. Be like, yeah, you can have my left arm up to the elbow.
$20,000?
You know, yeah, so it's not a lot. I mean, that's
I would
not
donate a beard for 20
how about
grand.
how about $20 million?
$20 million?
Yeah,
That's
$20 million.
life-changing.
That's life changing. That's a game changer.
I could do it without my nose. That'd be fine.
That's
Nose doesn't
You
affect.
look like Voldemort. Stop it.
That's fine.
Like a
Okay,
bearded
There's worse things I could.
We
look
got to
like.
backpedal. I don't know that there are many people missing limbs or what are those called? I want to say vestiges. That doesn't sound right.
appendages.
Appendage? What's a vestige? Ooh, maybe I'm saying bad things. Hold on, let me look it up.
Vestigial means that it's there left over from birth.
Vestige, a trace of something that is disappearing or no longer exists. Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is that it would be insensitive of us to make this into a game, but if it happened anyway and we're getting money for it, I don't know. Anyway, let's go down another path here.
That was
You guys got anything?
the side tangent of
Segway.
ages.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
What do you guys?
man.
What's music? Let's talk music. What have you guys? What's something new that you guys have, or even old, that you have just been really into recently?
There's
Go ahead.
go for it.
I got super into this band called Off Road Minivan.
Yeah,
Great name. So great. B, they're like 5 of my favorite bands from like 15 years ago, all put together. Like, the sound just reminds me of quite a few of my favorite bands, and I love it. I've listened to their album like 10 times through in the last 2 weeks, and it's magnificent.
it is pretty
cool.
great.
I'll
You
have to
sent
check
it
'em
to
out.
me the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, no, it's more than pretty good. It's great. They've got like, I don't know. The vocalist is really cool. He's got a really unique voice. I like his lyrics too. And some of the guitar parts, they're like, the tone is really heavy, but the song's not. So it's like a really cool, it's a cool balance. But then I got some stuff I'm like, whoa, this is almost like a metal breakdown. It's great. So that's been fun.
Let me see.
And I've been really into like, I've been messing with loops a lot because I bought this pack and I've been doing all this 80 synth loop
Yes.
stuff, and it's great. I feel like
That-
that comes up every time too, but I bought another one and I was like, oh man, this is great.
That's actually what I've been into. Is there's a couple, and they're just recent. Like within the past few days, I found them, and I know one of them. I know has had quite an extensive career that I'm having to dig through now. But two, like electronica, I guess that's what Apple Music describes it as. It's just electronic music. One goes by the name Calm Trues, like Tom Cruise, but he flipped the letters.
That's great. That's
Elec-
genius.
He's
Electronic.
fantastic. And then the other one's Murder something. Matt Murder. They're very synth wavy, very 80s sounding. A lot of cool sequences and like gated drums and stuff like that.
Murder?
Nice.
Murder.
Oh, like murder.
Like a group of crows.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good. My I'm not even gonna name drop. I had a college interview with a guy named Murner, which I always thought was an interesting name.
Interesting.
I have been really. I'm surprised we didn't say. Did we say something about it last time? Magic Trick by the Night Game, the new single. It's ridiculously good.
Oh,
There's
we talked
so
about
much
it. It
that
was getting
went
ready
into
to
it.
drop because it hadn't come out yet.
So good.
Which
And-
Martin, if you ever hear this, insanely good job, dude. Amazing work.
Martin. Actually,
Martin.
he might be upset for me saying Martin like that. He did not love. I mean, he saw it. We know for sure that at least the social media management for the Night Game saw our post about leaving out LaCroix and toothpicks. like Santa on Christmas Eve for Martin Johnson.
That was all done in, we'll say, gratefulness.
Yes,
it was a lighthearted way of showing gratefulness, because that was like, I remember I woke up the next morning, got ready for my day, made sure it was downloaded to my music, and literally did nothing. I made my coffee, kids were all set, and I put my like high quality headphones on and just listened to the song from start to finish.
So here's what I did.
Just had to take it in.
I was so excited, and I do this with several different musicians when they release something, like The Maine. Anytime they release something, I do the same thing. But Night Game's Magic Trick single came out, and I downloaded it to my phone. I was like, I don't want to even listen to it on headphones or from the phone speaker. I want to wait until I have some studio monitors in front of me. And so I couldn't hold out. I ended up listening on the phone, and here's the thing. At the first I was like, I don't know about it, because I didn't quite hear all the nuance, I was like, it's a great song, but I don't know. It's not like my favorite all the time. And now I just can't stop. It's like when I hit the car. Started listening to some stuff from the Midnight. They have a new album coming out. And then it got stuck in my head, and I'm not like a huge fan of it, but there's a song called If the World Was Ending. It's by J.P. Sachs, and there's a feature by Julia Michaels. And it's so good. It's so simple, but so good. So that's me. That's what I've been going through right now.
I like it. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
How many minutes? What are we sitting at? How many? We're getting. Man, I thought we'd be more talkative about productive things, but.
Instead, we're talking about like organ transplants.
Yeah,
and black
we talked
market
so
deals.
I think it was pretty productive, just in a different way. We're letting people see the deeper side of our minds.
I've been reading this book. I don't know that I recommend it, but it's been pretty intriguing so far. Finished one about Sasquatches.
Wow.
And then started one about a guy who is afflicted with a medical condition that forces him to have to walk. And so, like, he will just randomly get up and start walking, and he can't stop himself. He just has to keep walking until he, like, passes out. And then it could happen at any moment. And it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
I wish I could tell you the author. I don't have it with me right now, but got it from a Goodwill rack, I think. And
dude, you can't beat that. Yeah. I was trying to be like, yeah, I read, but I haven't been.
I haven't really read much, to be honest.
But I got a list I'm going to start.
For a while.
I want to. Oh wow, it's raining very hard here. I would like to give a shout out to Ari. What's his name? Dang it, Herstrand. I think it's Herstrand. It's Ari something. There's a book called How to Make It in the Music Business.
Ooh.
And I have read it 3 times, and that sounds kind of like reaching, like I'm desperate, but in reality, it's just like a title to pull you in. And this dude has compiled so much useful information I wish I had known. By the time I actually got to read the book, it's stuff we had figured out over, 5 years of working in Ocean City, and then beyond those 5 years of playing music. But there's so much. And so if there are musicians listening to the podcast, just go read the book. Like, even if you just skim through it and kind of get some good information, like, it's an amazing book to start. It's not going to give you the answers. No one has it figured out, right? But this thing's pretty legit. Like, it's real. He doesn't. Here's how it's. It's good because he doesn't waste time plugging his own stuff. He's not like, well, in my band, blah 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 blah, we do this. Check us out on Spotify. He's just like, here's how it is. Here's what I've experienced, and I just really appreciated that.
Yeah.
I dig it. I need to read that. You've told me about that before.
Yeah,
I just suck it up and order.
I was thinking about purchasing one for both of you, but then I was like, I don't have that kind of cash, because it's like a big book, and like it's $25 or something. Like, that's.
I appreciate the thought.
Yeah, I thought about it. I thought real hard.
We'll do like
you guys a gift.
Thought real hard before I decided not to.
We'll do like a band book club. We'll all read it. Zach, you can read it for a fourth time. It'll be great.
I probably should.
Nothing wrong with
Last time we did a band book club, that's where I got the art of, or the War of
That's
Art.
why we did the War of Art, and that changed our lives.
Such a great book.
You've both told me really good things about that.
You got to read that one.
You got to read it.
Everyone has to read that one. Even if you read it and you're like, that was kind of like BS. Because you could come away from it thinking that if you were kind of, cynical about it or whatever, but you would, I would almost guarantee that even if you didn't love the entire book, you would come away from it being like, yeah, that made sense. I got to get to work.
Not to get like philosophical or anything like that, but every once in a while you need that little bit of, I want to, like, for lack of a better term, like you need that little bit of cheese, that little bit of just like
cheese.
I love cheese.
Do you know what I mean? Like you need something that's inspiring, but not exactly the most eloquent or artistic viewpoint.
Yeah.
Because like that book was one of the things for me, and then we were just talking about it with the Night Game's new single, Magic Trick. He's like the subject matter is talking about the disillusionment of the music industry and how you can forget about the magic of it. And like hearing his viewpoint on that and then listening to the song, that was like almost centering for me. So it's just kind of nice to sometimes hear stuff like that that's very like cut and dry, almost like kid's story simple.
Mm-hmm. I think Pressfield calls it meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Writing. He has his own publishing company. That's their specialty, apparently, meat and potatoes.
That's sweet.
Do you call them potatoes up north, Paul?
Wow, what do you think we call them? You guys think I live in a different world up here?
I don't know. Hey, do
you guys have the internet down there?
Yeah, we do. But
we have shoes too, man.
We have shoes.
What?
I didn't know that was a real stereotype, but a lot of people think Kentuckians don't wear shoes.
Yeah, it cracks me up when people up here say that. When I'm like, yeah, I lived in Kentucky. Like, did you wear shoes? I'm like, what?
Yeah, they have paved roads. Yeah, I have wimpy feet. Do you guys have wimpy feet? I'm never barefoot. So, like, when I go to the pool with Taylor will be standing on the hot concrete or pavement or whatever it's called technically, and just no issue. I'm like, this is burning my feet. I must enter the water immediately.
Like you hear like the sizzle from a frying pan. You're like, how are you doing that?
Oh, goodness.
Can't walk across gravel. I'm just not. I do not have strong feet.
Gentle feet, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna call you Gentlefoot.
No.
No, shut that down.
No.
It's better than poop shoes.
Captain Poopy Shoes?
Yeah, I had a drummer friend, and we called them poop shoes. Because this one time we were on a weekend tour.
You have a legitimate friend that you called poop shoes.
No,
yeah,
Zach was talking about
the Froggy
video.
Fresh.
Froggy
Fresh
Captain
YouTube video.
Oh my gosh, Froggy Fresh!
You just got dunked on.
I forgot about Froggy Fresh. Actually, have you ever heard his new stuff?
No.
Dude, bro goes hard.
He came through Louisville on tour one time. He was at Headliners.
Dude, did you guys go?
No, I couldn't make it.
Oh.
For a while there was a lot of stuff that came through Louisville.
Backpedal just a quick second. Why did you call your friend Poop Shoes? And what is his name?
Shoes. His name's Justin, and he won't be mad that I'm telling
what
the story.
Just happened? Okay,
Nick
sorry. You guys just...
He went to the time loop, man.
Nick disappeared, but then you guys switched places in my screen. So that's what the people will see. Anyway,
Nick, don't tell him. Don't tell him how we did that.
Justin Poop Shoes.
Justin Poop Shoes. So we were on a weekend tour. His old band Silver Lining. Well, I guess they're a band again. They just put out an EP after not doing anything for like 3 years. They're great. Anyway.
Welcome back, Silver Lining.
We were coming to Michigan to do a show, and we stopped. I don't remember what town, but it was like 30 minutes inside the border, right? We stopped at this thrift store for some reason, and it was kind of janky. So anyway, he goes to the bathroom, and he's in there for like 25 minutes. We're like, dude, what the heck is going on? So he comes out, and he's all mad. And we're like, dude, are you okay? He's like, there was human poop on the floor, and I stepped in it. And instead of being good, supportive friends, we just all busted out laughing. And then we're like, dude, we're going to call you Poop Shoes for the rest of the tour. So that night at the show, we're like introducing them. And we're like, back there on the drums is Justin Poop Shoes. he wasn't very happy about that, but he's a good sport. So
Here's the hope. If you're at a thrift shop and you step in human feces,
oof,
you have to hope that there are shoes at the thrift shop and
that you can buy.
That you can buy. But so here's the deal. Nick and I both wear a 13.
Oh,
so,
really?
Which is not as rare as you would think, but still pretty rare as far as like thrift shops, because the only time you really see 13s is like when guys our size just get tired of different shoes, which seems to not happen a lot. Anyway, so like it would be a pretty hit or miss. But if you wore like a size, I don't know, 9 or 10, I think you'd have a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. Yeah. I didn't need to explain that to you guys, but just felt like that.
That was right. Great. And the fact that you said these was really brought it.
Not even kidding. I just put enough miles on the shoes, they just basically fall off. Like I don't ever just get tired of them and get rid of them.
There is a guy that I play music with at church, and he is not like excessively tall. But he's a pretty tall guy. But I've never really been like, man, his feet are huge. But he wears like a size 16 or something like that.
Whoa.
He said it passively because he was like, I just have these in my work boots because I'm a 16. I'm like, what the heck?
Dude,
like he's probably like 6'3" or so, 6'2".
That's amazing.
I kind of feel that though, like what he says, like I got these in my work boots. Like I have my Docs and my Crocs, and that's literally all that I wear.
Ooh, Docs and Crocs, baby. I don't know if that's I ordered a pair of Army issue boots, used ones, off of Poshmark,
the desert sand,
which is very manly but also very feminine to say.
Did you?
Yes, but here's what I'm going to do.
Poshmark.
Because I don't want to, like, plenty of people wear Army gear. I'm not like necessarily that worried about it, but I'm really worried about the kind of being on the edge of like stolen valor. Like those fatigues and gear were made for a certain purpose, and I don't want to like make it weird. But Paul, did you get very dark? I feel like it got
I was dark. Waiting for you guys.
The video has been insane. So I'm going to Rit dye the boots black and see what that does.
Ooh.
Not much.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure they're synthetic and leather, man.
Are they leather boots?
Yeah, they're like hide.
All right, well maybe they'll just be the color they are. Maybe I'll wear them
you
to
might
a show.
You might be able, because they make like leather dye, like not Rit dye, but leather dye.
Right. All right, well.
I gotta get some
boots
for our
show, so I can look cool like you guys.
I've got the 1460s that I wear everywhere, and then I've got the work boots.
The Docs.
Dude,
Docs are so good.
I just said I gotta get boots so I can look cool like you guys at our first show.
Can you drum in boots? I mean,
I can drum
to a certain extent. Oh, well, sorry, I didn't mean to doubt your skills.
I feel insulted.
Let me rephrase.
I can also drum with
rephrase. I'm sorry. Is it harder to drum in boots than it is in like just like maybe Vans or something a little lighter?
No, it depends. I mean, depends on how strong your feet are.
Let me ask you this:
it's harder to play guitar in boots.
Technically minded,
you're using a pedal board.
It is harder to play guitar in boots. It's harder to play everything in boots. It's harder to walk in boots. I have a different stride. It's completely different.
Your boot stride versus shoe stride.
Yeah,
it's like baby giraffe kind of.
A size 13 Doc Marten weighs like 45 pounds per shoe.
I mean, dang, that's intense, man.
Here's my question.
They are pretty beefy. Like,
do you play when you play drums? Your pedals. Do you work those pedals heel up or heel down?
I have to think about
you know what I'm saying? Like when you have your rested position on your kick pedal, are you heel on the floor and then you use like your toe to use the kick, or do you push down with like the ball of your foot with your heel up in the air?
Both.
Oh, okay.
It depends on how soft you're playing and how like fast you're playing. Like if you're doing really quick doubles, then like heels up and it's more in the toes. Or there's a way where you like bounce it like toe to heel. It's pretty cool.
I've seen someone do that. I can't.
Yeah, it's wild, bro.
I
can tune your drum set for you. That's about it.
The biggest thing I feel like I've ever accomplished is I can stand and play keyboard at the same time while using sustain. So like, that's not tremendously hard, but it is kind of weird because you have to stand on your left leg the whole time. So my left leg is probably stronger for standing than my right leg.
You know what? I never even thought about that when I used to play keys at a band, that I would use my right foot for the sustain pedal, which is weird because I'm like dominantly left-sided. So,
Well, left would be like a different pedal, though.
It's like driving.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I just...
But you know what? I think I use my left foot for guitar pedals, which is probably weird.
Yeah, that seems bizarre. Do you set it up back? Well, you couldn't. You'd have to go... You just have to stand to the right of your guitar pedals?
I just don't really make sense when I play guitar. This drummer thing.
Can I tell you, that's what I'm very excited about, is eventually we're going to have acoustic shows. And hopefully not many of them. I'm not super into acoustic shows. But when we play acoustic shows, you as a drummer, and I don't mean this in any offense, but like it's very rare to have a drummer that could just pick up another acoustic and just go for it. So I'm very excited to see that. We don't have to be like, all right, well, we're going to need you on cajon for this one.
Dude, I know. It'll be sweet. Like, I'm really excited about it.
Play whatever you want. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll play some keys for acoustic stuff.
Aaron Gillespie, big influence. So that drummer guy plays like everything, and he's incredible at all of it.
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, we have just over 3 minutes left on our second Zoom meeting, so we will probably end it right around here.
Cool.
And so, you guys have any closing remarks? Anything fun you want to share?
I just want to say, everybody be excited because what we got coming is pretty freaking awesome. And that's all I'm going to say.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say so much more, but I can't.
I'll back that up.
Because, suspense.
Okay, hold on. This will be fun. Quick, rapid fire, each of you, and then I'll cap one on at the end. Give one spoiler for what's coming up. Podcast exclusive. One spoiler.
Podcast, just off the top of my head. I used a Metal Zone for the first time in my musical career.
That's not really a spoiler, but that's pretty amazing.
I love it.
Not getting rid of it. You guys can't see it because it's on my phone and I'm using my phone, but my phone case looks like a Metal Zone.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you. Oh, man. Really great snare tones.
You guys are going for like not even real spoilers. That's fine. I'll stick with the same vibe.
All right. I gave a spoiler earlier.
Yeah, okay,
you guys kind of missed
it.
That's
fine. Oh, what happened?
You were talking about wanting to like spend time with your family. Zach wrote a song about it. It's on the new release.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. It's very mysterious. You guys gave technical stuff. So I'll say this. None of the vocals on the album.
Release.
The release.
The release. I wouldn't even classify it as an album.
None of the vocals on the release are double tracked. So everything is one singular line of lead vocal. I mean, I didn't do it all in one take. Here's my process. I do 3 takes, and then I pick the best of each one. And I blend those together to make one singular line, and then just did one track of harmonies. So nothing is doubled, nothing's tripled. Feels good.
Oh, fun fact. You use the space bar to punch in and out of the recording interface.
Nice.
And I broke the space bar on my MacBook on the very last recording session. Had to send it off to be repaired.
Wow. Dang.
All right, guys, we are at less than a minute. This has been the OK Podcast, I guess episode 3 for June. Was it June?
Look at us
yes.
go.
June 2020. We have a release coming out, maybe multiple releases. Wait and see. In the meantime, subscribe to the podcast. Check us out. WeAreTheOK.com is where you can find our weekly blog, as well as links to everything else. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at WeAreTheOK. And that's it. We're the OK. I'm Zach. That's Nick on the bottom and Paul on the top left there, as long as everything is in the right position. Paul is fading into shadow. And we are just thrilled to be doing this. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. And if you haven't yet, check out our merch store. It's on the website as well. And you, if you pick the right item, could have a one-of-a-kind merch item. So I won't tell you which ones. All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay, I'll just stop.